Joy, I'm sorry, you cannot dodge this one. Should the Cowboys be panicking right now?
Should they be panicking right now? Yes. But I do like that Zeke said this. This was very quarterbackial of Zeke to say that. The panic, we know they're up against some adversity. He was honest. He wasn't, delusional about it. He wasn't trying to pitch something that wasn't real. But, he kind of did what Dak does, which is say the right thing. So I like that Zeke said that. But, yes, they should absolutely be panicking. The Cowboys went into this situation unprepared. When you have a big exam coming up, right, and you cram for it the night before, as opposed to studying weeks ahead of time, even though the professor or the teacher's been telling you, and you bomb the exam, whose fault is it? It's not the professor's, it's yours. You had the opportunity to prepare for this, and you made the choice not to. Now, maybe you'll pass the test, and good for you. Will you do that every time? No, you won't. The Cowboys chose not to have a legitimate backup quarterback. They chose to put themselves in this situation. It was a choice. You can't expect me to look at the situation that the Cowboys are in. We were talking about how bad the Cowboys were going to be before the season started, and we haven't even really had a conversation about how bad they were in that game before Dak got hurt. You expect Dak to carry the team that we watched before he got hurt. Now you expect me to believe that Cooper Rush, who's on the practice squad, is supposed to go out there and do this? Even in the best-case scenario of 4 games, it's delusional.
This quote gave me flashbacks, to be honest with you, because Zeke had to do this in 2020. Dak got hurt in week 5, 6, whatever it was, against the Giants. Zeke was the face of that offense the rest of the way. Andy Dalton had COVID. They had to use other backups. He was the guy that was there every week. And credit to him for that. And he said all the same stuff, because what else can you say? What else can you say? And they went 6-10. It wasn't a very good season. So I appreciate everything. It was very diplomatic.
Are
it's
you
what you're supposed
panicking?
to. Oh, absolutely. Yes, I'm panicking, and they should be panicking. And deep down, I don't want to put words in his mouth or anybody else's, but deep down, there's probably a few guys from 2020 that are like, I didn't like the way this went last time it happened. Yeah, I would be panicking if I were them.
They shouldn't panic yet. America's team, don't panic yet. I'll say this about Cooper Rush. Give him a shot. The last year against the Vikings, he threw for a lot of yards, and he got a W. I'll say this. This is when you panic. So first of all, our superstar quarterback, franchise quarterback, paid all this money to, he put up 3 points, right? In the loss. Before the thumb, hand, whatever that was, okay? And then if Cooper Rush comes in there and gives you 3 points, then you should panic, right? Starter didn't do good, the backup didn't do good, now you panic.
I'm not panicking just yet, Joy. Reason being is, let me see what else is going on in the NFC East. Like, Dave, let me see what else is going on in the NFC East. Dak Prescott's record in the NFC East, what, sir?
25-6.
25-6. That's why I keep you on the show, because you will win all Dak Prescott trivia. Dak Prescott, he's 25-6 in the NFC East. The Commanders might lose this week. The Eagles, they got a huge game against the Minnesota Vikings. They might catch a L this week. The New York Giants, are they actually good or not? They might catch a L this week. As long as the Cowboys can stay within 2 to 3 games in the division, I'm not sweating just yet. You got your finger up. Why?
But that's what worries me, is like they've got to find a way to steal some games here. And this is a big game, by the way. This is a
huge game.
Pissed off Bengals team that played in the Super Bowl. Probably didn't expect to lose last week. They see this as an opportunity, and I just worry if you're 0-5 or 1-6 or whatever. If you're well below 500 by the time Dak gets back,
that's a wrap.
What good does it even?
But the point about that stat, the 25-6, is with Dak Prescott as quarterback. Dak Prescott ain't playing in these games, and you have 2 division games within the window that we know Dak is going to be out. In some fantasy world, he's going to be back for the LA Rams and be 100%, right? So in between that time, you have the pissed off Bengals and you have 2 divisional matchups. So let's say you lose all of them. What is the season?
Not good.
Okay.
It's not good.
But that was a Dak Prescott-led team that has that stat.
But if the Cowboys are even 1-4, 1-5 when Dak Prescott gets back, don't you think that's still within striking distance? Because the Giants aren't going to win 12. As good as they looked last week, they're not going to win 12. The Commanders, they're not going to win 10+. They're not going to win 12. The Eagles, they could win 11-12. They didn't look great against the Lions.
We're going to win that.
But they could win 11-12. Even if the Cowboys start out 1-5, I'm not panicked unless I see the Eagles running away with it, unless I see the Giants running away with it. As long as, like, you keep me – you ran track. Joy ran track. Not a past life. You could probably still run
I can't run to the end of that fake field over there.
Well,
but yes, at one point in time, I was fast.
At one point in time, you was fast. And what you know is this, just give me the baton within striking distance. I'm going to go get him. As long as the Eagles and them are within striking distance, I think the Cowboys don't need to panic.
You remember the game on Sunday, right?
Yeah, there's a difference between striking distance and being lapped. 1-5? You expect me not to be panicked about the Dallas Cowboys if they're 1-5?
I got another stat for you, too. I did this off the rip. In 2020, Dak got hurt. Non-Dak games that Dak didn't start against the division, they went 1-4. So that's a pretty marked difference.
And not only that, but like we talking about the Cowboys. You think the Cowboys just come 1-5, let's go catch everybody with that team, with that performance we've seen with Dak?
That's more concerning. Let's talk 2020, because this is what people don't remember about 2020. Dak got hurt. The season was ruined. Andy Dalton was terrible. The Cowboys were 1-3, en route to being 1-4 with Dak Prescott healthy. So in 2020, the Cowboys weren't good regardless. Are the Cowboys that bad this year? I don't think so. But 2020, Cowboys were only on pace to win 4 games. You can do the math. 1-3 with your quarterback. Expand that to a 16-game season. That's going to end up at 4-12. Right. So they weren't going to be great anyway.
So by that standard, why wouldn't they be panicked right now?
Right. The reason I wouldn't be panicked just yet is because I'm not convinced that the Cowboys aren't capable of staying within striking distance of the division. The NFC East never scares me, except for the Eagles. But if the Eagles gave up 35 points to the Detroit Lions, a Detroit Lions offense that isn't that competent. So if not for an Eagles pick 6, Eagles that catch an L to the Detroit Lions.
I won't go that far with the L, but I agree with you on just not panic, because you don't know. Cooper Rush can go out there and play well because he already did it. So, and I think when a team is like desperate for a win, everybody's rallying behind him.
I think he can do that for a game. I'm not saying that Cooper Rush is not capable of doing that, but he's not going to do it for the next 5 games.
Not only
that's what happens with backup quarterbacks. You might get lightning in a bottle and he goes out and has a game.
It's more scheduling, though.
And then the other team gets tape on you, and then they figure you out, and you're not able to sneak up on anybody. But also, if they let's say they lose these next 2 divisional games, that's within striking distance for you?
Because they still have 4 left, as long as you go 4-2 in the division, and we know Dak Prescott is capable of winning out.
A healthy Dak Prescott.
True. Very, very, very.
And we are all operating under the fantasy that he's going to be back for the Rams game.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's go here then, Dave. Bengals 0-1, looked bad last week. Cowboys 0-1, looked bad last week. Both of these teams desperately need to win this game on Sunday. Problem is, they're playing each other. Who, Dave, needs to win more, Cowboys or Bengals?
It's the Cowboys. It has to be. I mean, look, 0-2 is not a good place for anybody in the NFL. The numbers say that easily. But the Bengals, knock on wood, hopefully nobody gets hurt on Sunday, but they'll have all their guys. Like, if they start 0-2, they'll still have Joe and Jamar, and T. Higgins is supposed to play this week. They got Joe Mixon. They got everybody. They got all these guys that got them to the Super Bowl. They can bounce back from that. This Cowboys team needs to find a way, and I'm going to say the word steal. They got to steal some wins. They got to get into the win column and have people like us being like, oh, damn, Cowboys are 2-3? Dak can work with that. That's what they got to do, and it ain't going to happen if they're falling.
Shady, you're shaking your head.
You sure about that? It's got to be Joe Burrow, right? I feel you. The Super Bowl runner-ups, I guess, because they didn't really win. So it's like, it's the Bengals. Nobody had the Bengals going to the Super Bowl. Was it all hype? Was it real? Was it fake? And then if you want to go back in history, right, because I love to go back in history, starting 0-2, they've never, ever, ever made the playoffs starting that bad. So I think it's more with the Bengals. I mean, we got to see what we're getting here.
If you start 0-2, you only have a 9% chance, 9.6 to be exact, percent chance of making the playoffs. Joy, who needs us to win more?
The Cowboys need to win more. Whether it was a fluke or not, Shady, they played in the Super Bowl. We started the show talking about Justin Herbert, who has a what record? 16-18.
Wow.
Joe Burrow was just in the Super Bowl. So the Bengals still have some grace. Now, will it be concerning? Of course. That number is a real number, that it will very much affect their playoff chances. But they have some grace. Nobody's getting fired from the Bengals if they don't make it back to the Super Bowl this year. They are still healthy. It's just a rough start and maybe a Super Bowl hangover, if you will. But the Cowboys have to steal as many games as they can while their starting quarterback, Dak Prescott, is out.
For me, I'm with you, 2-5. I think the Bengals need it more. But I think the Bengals need it more because you're in a division that has Lamar Jackson. You're in a division that has Mike Tomlin. You are in a very, 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 very competitive division. Whereas you and I lived in the NFC East. The majority of your career as an Eagles all-time rushing leader was in the NFC East. You know as well as I do, you can win that division with 9-10 wins. With the Giants, with the Commanders, with the Eagles, you can win that division with about 8-9 wins. We saw what happened with last year's AFC North. The Bengals, the Ravens, the Steelers, the Browns. Like, that division was so crazy close. It took 10, 11. If not for Lamar Jackson getting hurt, it would have taken 12.
But, I mean, the Bengals won it with 10. That's all I'm saying. I hear you. I'll put it this simply. Just one of these teams has to lose. Who would you rather be coaching? Like, whose team would you rather be invested in coming out of that game? An 0-2 Cowboys team that won't have Dak Prescott for 3 to 6 more weeks, or all the guys I just listed that we all like so much on the Cincinnati Bengals? Who would you rather have to help you dig out of that hole?
Fair.
And if you say the Cowboys, you would be lying.
That's a good point.
What I was saying, that 0-2, that wasn't a number. That's fact, it's history. The Bengals starting 0-2, they've never, ever made the playoffs. So they gotta, you know what I'm saying? They gotta do something.
I agree with you on that, but Troy, I'm going to come with you on this. I'm going to take what Dave gave me and try to turn it on its head. If I were to tell you that either the Cowboys or the Bengals would start 0-2, you would say the Cowboys.
Right.
You would say the Cowboys.
Oh,
you would say the Cowboys.
Right. There you
so
go.
For
Talk
me,
to
Dave,
him.
it's not so much like who would you rather be. It's, wait a second, if the Bengals start 0-2, they are shocked.
Yeah.
You won the Super Bowl last year, and now you know you're good. You're not, like, thinking you're good. If the Cowboys start 0-2, it's like, oh, yeah, we thought they was going to start 0-2. With the healthy Dak, they were probably going to start 0-2. Let's be real. They weren't going to be favored over the Bengals or the Bucs.
So basically what you're saying is our expectations shouldn't be that high for the Cowboys, so it's not that important.
Yes.
That's not the question.
Yeah, agree. That's not the question, but I do think that
Watching
is
a
the
chess match right out
reality.
here. Love it.
Chess match right before your eyes.
And your boy that you all love, he threw 4 picks last week. I don't know if you guys forgot. 4 picks.
Heard about that.
I'm still trying to figure out how Joy said she played chess competitively on the sly. We will revisit that later.
Please.
You're going to have to comment.
Apologize for being
you're not
brilliant.
avoiding that like you avoided the whole Trey Lance making it range in there. Anyway.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.